All right, test, test. Getting started shortly here, just testing out our audio.
What's up, boys?
Yes, sir. Let me know if you need me to slide over a little bit. Nah, you should be good.
Very good.
Well, gentlemen, ready to go? Okay. If I need the replay, so you got to be on.
I'm gonna be right over there. He's probably okay, right?
He's good there. As long as he has. All right, everybody, welcome into the fourth Delco Baseball Now game of the week. My name is Brendan Ricciardi. David Chepansky will be joining us in a little. He's on his way over. We got the best matchup of the year so far as our top two teams in the power rankings, Radnor and Haverford, show down here as the only undefeated teams remaining in the Central Leagues. Let's get to starting lineups before we get to first pitch here. Start off with the visiting Radnor. Leading off and playing center field is Teddy Monahan. Batting second, playing shortstop, Joe Krasowski. Batting third is the first baseman, Matt Zacholski. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter is Evan Hartman. He's DHing for Blake Havertine, who's playing third base. Batting fifth and catching is Zach Fine. Batting sixth, the left fielder and potential relief pitcher, Daniel Kellis. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Kyle Miltenberger. Batting eighth, the pitcher, Austin Havertine. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Will Selbach. As mentioned, on the mound for Radnor, Austin Havertine. On the mound for Haverford will be Jimmy Boyle. Leading off for Haverford, the right fielder is number one, Ryan Cassidy. Batting second on the mound, Jimmy Boyle. Batting third, the center fielder, Shane Durkin. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Nick Alvanian. Campbell McCormick is your five hitter today. He's playing first base. Sam Sturman will be behind the plate. He's batting sixth. Rocco Kelleher at third base. He'll be batting seventh. Ben Ishmael bats eighth, and he's in left field. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Will Elias. Well, these teams are combined 13-0 this season, 8-0 for Haverford and 5-0 for Radnor. Radnor recently just got back from their trip to Florida, so they've been off Central League play for a little while here. Trying to get back rolling today. In a league where there's no playoff format, games like this are even more important because if one of these teams goes 16-0 and one goes 15-1, I think you know what happens there. Apologies for the faraway camera angle. They have a gorgeous Haverford backdrop behind the fence. Unfortunately, that was not built for broadcasting games in mind, but it's all good. Close to first pitch here at Havertown. Haverford wearing their home whites with red pinstripes, road grays for Radnor. Haverford ready to take the field here. Jimmy Boyle heading out for the first pitch. Boyle was one of our first team All-Delco pitchers last year as just a sophomore. Missed a week for having the flu, but he bounced back with a great start last week. He's thrown 10 innings this year, let up just 3 runs, 2.10 ERA. We're heading to Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, but he's still just a junior, so we got a couple more potential game of the week starts for Jimmy. One of these days we'll have nice enough cameras to just set up in center field, but until then, we move on. It's a windy day here in Havertown. It's sunny, though, so it's starting to warm up a little bit as these guys start to move around. Says it feels like 29. I disagree. The sun hasn't warmed up a little bit. We got a nice fan section starting to show up in right field. For anyone joining us here on the Delco Baseball Now YouTube channel, it's our 4th game of the week broadcast, but none have had the implications that this one here has today. Looks like we're about ready for first pitch here in Havertown. Leading off for Radnor will be the center fielder, Teddy Monahan. Brendan Ricciardi, David Shapansky will be joining us in a little bit here. He's not quite arrived yet from his classes. Already know he'll be here in his blazer, ready to talk about some various food items. So we're ready to go. Looks like we got some conversations going on at home plate here. Not sure what's going on. While we wait to get started, let's take you through some of the games that we are getting from around Delaware County today. It's a busy day. A lot of games, including this one, being made up from yesterday. The Central League, we got Garnet Valley taking on Strathaven. Pencrest is at Ridley. We got in the Interac, Haverford Schools taking on Penn Charter to open up the Interac season. Episcopal's got Malvern Prep, an always tough challenge. The Del Val, Chichester, and Chester are squaring off along with Penwood and Academy Park. And Conestoga's got Springfield as well. Wind has started to settle down a little bit here. It's Coach Mark Jordan jogging now to third base, the only Delco coach to ever win a PIAA state championship. Did that back in 2018 with Marple Newtown. Teddy Monahan will lead off as he fouls that one back. Really clean uniform sets from both sides today. Home whites with the red pinstripes for Haverford. We got the road grays for Radnor. Radnor finally ditched the gray hats. It's about time. Out in there for a called strike. Tough angle from where we're at, but we march on. 0-2 for Boyles in the dirt. Teddy Monahan playing his college baseball at Rochester in New York. So I hope he likes cold weather baseball because it's not going anywhere. Boyle steps off to gather himself here. One-two pitch coming from Boyle in the dirt. Teddy Monahan now back in the count, 2-2. That one smacked into right center field. It'll be playable. And caught by the center fielder Shane Durkin for out number 1. Good swing from Teddy Monahan, but Shane Durkin saw that one all the way. Joe Krasowski, the batter, Misericordia recruit, will be the shortstop today for Radnor. First pitch is a little low. Radnor 3-0, Haverford 5-0 battled the only 2 undefeated teams left in Central League. That one's in the dirt. Boyle from the windup fires that one's fouled away. Starting to warm up here a bit at Haverford. The wind, knock on wood, has died down a little bit. It's the first time in our Delco Baseball Now Game of the Week history we've had the number 1 versus number 2 teams in our rankings face off. That one's outside. We had a number 1 versus number 2 in our Dollar Dog Day last year, but that was not a Game of the Week. Pitch coming from Boyle. That one's upstairs. Good at bat here from Joe Krasowski. It's a shame these 2 teams will not face off in the district playoffs. Haverford 6A, Radnor 5A. So this is the only meeting all year between them. Krasowski, swing and a miss. He got him. Out number 2 for Jimmy Boyle here. Matt Zacholski steps in, the first baseman. Zacholski 4 for 13 on the year. He's got a homer. He's got 2 RBIs. Takes that one in there for Calder strike. Wind, as mentioned, problem today. That one's down. Pitch from Jimmy Boyle, low and away. Fortunately, not many great places to put a camera here in Haverford High School. They got a great backdrop behind the plate. Unfortunately, that prevents you from getting your phone mounted there. That one from Zacholski's fouled back. Jimmy Boyle 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning to get the day rolling. Jimmy Boyle ready to go 2-2. That one's skied in the air. Looks like it might be playable. Will Elias ranging it goes foul. And pitch for Boyle looks like a bit downstairs. We'll go full count here to Matt Zacholski, who missed all of 2024 with a torn ACL suffered on the football field. back for his senior year. His brother Caden also on the squad as well. Boyle steps off. 2 outs here, a fly out to Shane Durkin and a strikeout. Pitch in there for a called strike 3. Jimmy Boyle fired up, second strikeout of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first here in Havertown. We got a 0-0 ball game. Austin Havertine gets the start for Radnor today. 14 innings pitched this season. He's allowed just 1 earned run, good for a 0.5 ERA. Allowed just 7 hits as well. He struck out 21 in those 14 innings. Hard to ask for a better start from Havertine, who's been starting as Radnor's ace since he was a freshman here at his junior year now, recruiting to Lehigh University. Austin started the first game of the week against Strathaven. It was a 4-1 Radnor win. Went 5 strong innings. Also had a 2-run single in that game, doing it on both sides. Anyone just joining us, Brendan Ricciardi, David Chapansky will be joining us in a little bit here. Doing the best we can with the video. Not many options to set up the camera here, but you know what? We're going to do what it takes until we're rich enough to get some big boy cameras out there in center field. Defensive alignment for Radnor. In center field, be Teddy Monahan. Left field, Daniel Kellis. Right field, Will Selbach. Behind the plate will be Zach Fine. First base, Matt Zacholski. Second base, Kyle Miltenberger. Joe Krasowski at short, and Blake Havertine at third. Austin Havertine's ready to go. Leading off for Haverford will be the right fielder, Ryan Cassidy, who fouls one close to us here. Over my head, almost into the bullpen, almost hit a JV catcher. For the record, I was in fact ready. Would have hurt, but it is what it is. Jimmy Boyle waits on deck. Shane Durkin in the 3 spot. Pitch is a little down. At this point, we can't really see the umpire, but we're going off of crowd and dugout reactions, so we'll do what it takes. That one's upstairs, 2-1. Got a lot of energy coming from the Haverford dugout here today. Someone's grounded right back to Havertine. He handles it easily and fires it over to Zacholski at first for out number 1. Great little PFP there. This game certainly has a lot of buzz around it. Both teams very active in their belief that they are the best team in Delaware County. Of course, as mentioned, Haverford number 1 on our power rankings after Radnor had been 1 all season. We felt like Haverford's 5-0 conference record plus their really, really strong non-conference wins gave them deserve that spot. That went in there to Boyle. Looks like it's a bit outside. One to pitch to Boyle. That was in there for a called strike. Fine wasn't able to hold on, but it looked like it did not matter there. As mentioned, Boyle missed a whole week and 2 games of having the flu. He takes that one for a called strike. It's quickly 1-2. Boyle gets some time at shortstop when he's not on the mound. Also DH. That one is in there just a bit outside, it appears. Looks like the Radnor defense wanted it. They might have been right. 2-2 pitch to to Boyle is fouled off from Havertine. So Radnor team has definitely showed some maturity this year. Feels like last year they knew they were a bit ahead of their time. They started 9-7 in the conference before making it to the district championship. Feels like this year they've gone into the year, they know how talented they are. It's a matter of how good can they be, not if they're good or not. Havertine steps off. Bottom of the first here in Havertown. Nothing so far. Jimmy Boyle, the batter. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Boyle in the top of the first. Swing and a miss. He got it. Out number 2, first strikeout of the game for Austin Havertine. I'll bring in Shane Durkin, center fielder. He was a second-team All-Delco outfielder for us last year. Along with Boyle, Durkin's been getting time since he was a freshman, now a junior on the team. That one looks like it's a bit outside. I want to get outside to Shane Durkin. It's again up and away to Shane Durkin. I would expect Shane Durkin to likely get the red light here to try and get Havertine's pitch count up. But you never know how many good pitches you'll get. That was in their first strike. And pitch here to Durkin, 3-1. Oh, looks like it was right at the knees for a called strike. Durkin tosses back to the side. Fickney was ball 4. Probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt here. Swing and a miss, he got him. 2 strikeouts for Austin Havertine here in the bottom of the first. Both pitchers seem to be in a groove early. We'll head to the top of the second. Still 0-0. Pencrest has taken an early 2-0 lead on the road over Ridley after double from Lucas Graham and a triple from Harry Giles. It's off of Ridley starter Jake Mansfield. No score in any of the rest of our games so far. Looks like in the Del Val, Chichester leads Chester 5-0. So you've seen in the Del Val, a lot of those games can get out of hand, so keep an eye on that one. Evan Hartman, the cleanup hitter, will bat now for Radnor to lead off this inning. He takes that one down. It'll be Evan Hartman, Zach Fine, and Daniel Kellis this inning. Looks like that one's just a bit outside here as Evan Hartman's ahead in the count 2-0. Was in there for a called strike, 2-0 pitch to Evan Hartman. You don't see Jimmy Boyle get behind early in counts too often. Hartman fouls that one back. Good swing there. Jimmy Boyle taking his time in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Did not expect that one to be called. Looks like the slider got a little bite there at the last second. That'll be out number 1. Strikeout number 3 already for Jimmy Boyle. We've seen all year and all of last year as well, these righties look very uncomfortable with that front hip slider. Of course, that was to a lefty. Given that same pitch as a backdoor slider there. All the same effective. Zach Fine, the batter, our first-team All-Delco catcher for us last year. That one's in there for a called strike. Hardenwood has led Haverford to this early 8-0 start as their starting pitching has been fantastic. Swing and a miss, he got him. 4th strikeout of the game already for Jimmy Boyle here in the 2nd inning. Whether it's Jimmy Boyle, Gavin McClafferty, Lucas Rothstein, Cam McCormick, Rocco Kelleher, the pitching has been outstanding for the Fords. Daniel Kellis, the batter, he's a Penn recruit on the mound, but he can certainly swing a little bit too as he takes that one in the dirt. Just a junior, but part of Radnor's really good trio of starting pitchers of Havertine, Kellis, and Ryan McWilliams, who we could see as a pinch hitter later in the game, perhaps. Kellis takes that one a little bit low. You expect to see Kellis after Austin Havertine today, whenever that might be, if it happens. Pitcher to Kellis is downstairs. Ben Thorpe has joined us here today. Welcome in, Ben.
Oh,
How
hello.
are we doing? We're kicking you out when Chapansky gets here.
That's
but until
completely
then,
okay.
Until then,
I totally understand that.
that one's in there for strike to Kellis. Down the left field line here at Havertown, they got a really nice backdrop behind the plate. Unfortunately, not great for the sake of mounting a phone back there.
Doesn't look like it
But
now.
we're doing what we can.
So what is the score of this contest?
I'll tell you in a sec. Kellis grounds over to Will Elias, who fires the first in time. At 6 up, 6 down for Jimmy Boyle. We're scoreless here, heading into the bottom of the
All right.
second.
There we
Not
go.
a single base runner for either side so far. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Austin Havertine coming back out.
Okay.
On Twitter,
Oh, yeah. Have we done anything
I
yet?
just tweeted after one of his scoreless. You can just say another 1, 2, 3. It's a gritty time of the year for us here at Delco Baseball now. It can't all be glamour sitting in the press box at Newman with the Wi-Fi and the perfect view. You got to work to get there, just like the team's got to work to get there. I'll tell you what, both of these teams have a good chance of making it there. Of course, they will not be playing each other's. Haverford's in 6A, Radnor's in 5A. It's a shame this will be the only meeting of the year between these two teams. Anyone who's followed along with us knows that we're big supporters of a Central League playoff system that we know probably won't ever get brought in, but we're going to complain enough that, we'll do our best. Conestoga has taken a 1-0 lead over Springfield in the first inning here. Looks like we got that happen on a pass ball. James Queasy scores.
Where did they play?
Springfield. Shout out our guys over on the Haverford Sports Media Network. Boys, what's your YouTube called?
Haverford High School Athletics.
Haverford High School Athletics. Guys doing a great job over here as well.
I've had more and more streaming out.
Yeah, more and more streaming.
That's good.
Whenever you're looking to watch a Haverford game that we're not broadcasting, check these guys out. But for now, we are back here in the bottom of the second with Nick Alvanian, the cleanup hitter, batting so far. He smokes that one over to shortstop. Looks like it gets right under the glove of Joe Krasowski. I'm going to call that one a base hit because that ball was scorched and he was ranging to his left. But it's a play that he'll probably tell you he should make. Ball's crushed off the bat, though.
A lot of grass clumps
A lot of
in the
grass.
field in general here. Going to be
Good looking dirt, though, overall.
yeah, it's going to be it's got to throw your body in front of the type of day it looks like, which sucks because it's 43 and windy.
Cam McCormick, a 5-hitter, will bat now. See how that ball was scored.
Wait, is this the bottom of the second?
This is the bottom of the second here.
Oh, I need to edit that tweet.
See, Haverford's calling it a single. It's always funny to see how game changer the discretion is. That was in there for a called strike to Alvanian, to McCormick. Yep, both calling it a single. That ball scored. She deserved a hit for
Yeah,
that.
that was crushed.
First base runner for either team here as McCormick takes upstairs. A lot of shiesties being worn by the Haverford team today.
I saw a very clean one
Yeah.
out in center field. That was a.
Shane Durkin.
It's a good
rocking that.
look. It's a good look.
Both these teams set up for success this year as well as next year. Jimmy Boyle will return next year, as will Cam McCormick, Shane Durkin for Haverford, Lucas Rothstein as well for Radnor. Top two pitchers, and Havertine and Daniel Kellis both back next year. Pitch to McCormick, he takes a big hack at a high fastball.
Tell you what, I'm taking a beating from whatever these leaves are.
These leaves, I call them helicopter leaves. But I don't know if
Yeah, that's a fair.
just because of the way they kind of fly around like the choppers.
Look like they bloomed in the warm weather and then died quickly today. So
McCormick swing and a miss at a great looking
jeez,
change up there.
that was a good pitch.
Out number one of the inning for Radnor. That'll bring in the sixth hitter, the catcher Sam Sturman, filling in for Owen Fleischauer, who's injured.
Sam Sturman catches as well.
Apparently,
Does everything.
Whatever the team needs.
Yeah, really.
We're hearing from our Haverford athletic guys on the other stream over here that Owen Fleischauer should be expected back after spring break. Good for Haverford as they built up a nice cushion that they can afford to lose a couple if they have to.
Yeah,
But until
definitely.
then,
And
first-
spring break is next week.
that's next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
believe there's a couple Central League games. As of right now, we have not decided on the game of the week. I'm leaning towards Chichester and Interboro because there's really not that many Central League games.
that would be a good.
All
Yeah.
the PCL and Interact teams, as Sturman takes a strike, all the PCL and Interact teams are playing non-Delco teams. So this feels
Okay,
like a good game
yeah.
to go to because if Chi wins, that pretty much wraps up the conference for them.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
Interboro
That
wins,
would be
then things
a,
get real interesting.
have a game 3. Maybe find ourselves back there.
Yeah, why not? Oh, looks just a bit outside, it appears. We also have a very interesting game next week, Lower Marion at Radnor, but we don't need to have the same team on 3 times in the first 5 weeks, you know.
That's a very fair.
See
Yeah.
how today goes and the rest of the week goes.
Are they on the? Are those games on the same day?
No, it's Monday and Tuesday. A ball skied in the air, center field by Sam Sturman. That was going to keep carrying it. It's over the head of Teddy Monahan at center field. Alvanian will be held at third. It's going to be a double by Sam Sturman. That ball just kept carrying.
Yeah.
The wind is blowing out today. I wouldn't be surprised if you see someone leave the yard.
Yeah. No. It's. I think you're gonna have a good shot at that. There's a pretty stiff breeze going out to the
Do you
outfield.
have a pick to click here? Anybody thinks going to put one out today? So someone on the Haverford team told me they were going yard, but I don't really know all their faces that well. I think it might have been Alvanian because they're doing a fundraiser with Haverford to donate old equipment, and he said thanks for sharing my thing, and I'm pretty sure it was Nick Alvanian. Him or Ryan Cassidy is organizing.
Okay.
Whoever's organizing it, they were the one that said I'm going yard today.
I like a right-handed bat to do it. Just saw for the ball flight there.
Swing and a miss for the first pitch here to the 7-hitter Rocco Kelleher is your third baseman.
I'll go Nick Alvanian. Had a good swing there.
Haverford's got second and third here after that double from Sam Sturman that just kept carrying over the head of Teddy Monahan in center field. We need that sun to come back out in full force. It's windy here today. I've played much worse than this.
Yeah, it's
Inside.
same here, but it's never pleasant.
No. I'll tell you what, they're a lot warmer than we are moving around like that.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys on the bench are probably feeling it a bit.
I played
Baseball pants
I
are
played in
thin.
state college. I'm used to this. We played in the snow a couple times. It's not fun. A ball is chopped over to third base to Blake Havertine. He'll fire over to first. Great job to keep the runner Alvania at third base. It's gonna be nice having your twin brother over at third base to help you.
Yeah, it's got to help. Be a tough ride home if you booted that one.
I don't know why the scoreboard said 2-0. It's 0-0 here.
Did you see the game changer messed up for Marple yesterday?
Yeah,
They had
Marple had
negative one.
Yeah, I think what happened was there was a double play to end the inning, and they said the run counted.
Oh,
Fielder's
yeah.
choice, and they said the run counted, so they had to go back and reverse it. Yeah, Shelby was writing the game recap and was very confused. Oh, hey. Yeah, -1 in the inning for Marple. Ben Ishmael, the left fielder, were bat here. Big at bat, second and third with 2 outs. Of course, Shelby doing a great job with the game recaps and the photography. Not trying to embarrass you. Will Elias waits on deck, cousin of one of my best friends, Ryan Elias. Cousin, if you're watching, hope you're doing well. maybe come out for a nice potential Haverford playoff game. It feels like at this point they're on their way to hosting a first round game, whether they get a bye or not.
Yeah, that's a definitely should have a good chance at
Yeah.
it. Obviously, you never know what can happen
I
throughout a
would
year,
say
but
hosting game, yes. Bye week, it's still a little too early to know, but the top 8 out of 24 get the bye week.
yeah, for sure.
2-1 here to Ben Ishmael, the left fielder. Havertine steps off to compose himself. He's thrown 32 pitches so far. We know Daniel Kellis will likely be next in line.
Will they get? Well, I guess with all the rain, probably don't need to worry about the rest of the week too much.
Nope. That one looks a little bit down to Ben Ishmael. It's hard because we can't see the ump from here, so I'm going
No,
purely off dugout reaction.
that's kind of. Then who's yelling after each
That's all
pitch?
you can do. 3-1 here to Ishmael. Open base. We'll see how aggressive Havertine is with him. Ooh, late swing on that fastball. He challenged him. And it paid off.
Do not think he was sitting that.
I think he was expecting something soft. Not what he got. Three-two pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. That'll load the bases here for Will Elias, the 9-hitter. See if he has a big moment waiting for him. Both teams rocking Wills in the 9 spot. Will Selbach, 9-hitter for Radnor. Will Elias, the batter here. Your second baseman today for the Fords. See if he can deliver a big moment here. That one looks like it's in there for a called strike.
Looked like some sort of slider there potentially.
Looks like it. Looked like it backed him up a little.
Yeah.
Haverford coach Brian Miller rocking a sweet Ford's black and red jacket. I'll have to get my hands on one of those. Pitch to Elias is in the dirt. They're making him work here. Havertine isn't quite as sharp on some of his pitches. 20 strikes and 16 balls so far.
It can be a little tough with cold weather is not only hard on hitting, but it is on pitching as
They
well.
also haven't played a real game in a little while. I was far away from Elias. They haven't played a Central League game in over a week and a half.
Definitely a little rust, maybe. It's not the easiest place to get right back into your schedule.
Radnor fans were not happy. Radnor players, I should add, were not happy with us moving them down in the power rankings to flip flop. But you know what? More buzz around the game is good.
Yeah,
Radnor players
absolutely.
want to prove that they're number one. Haverford players want to prove they deserve to stay at number one. The pitch to Elias, fouls it back.
We will, no matter what, we will have a definitive answer after today.
You know what's going to happen is whoever wins this game is going to lose Wednesday.
Yeah.
And whoever loses will win Wednesday. And it's like, all right, well, I think whoever wins this deserves that top spot next.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they'll tie.
I guess we have to get moved to another day. It's Elias swing and a miss. He got him. High fastball from Austin Havertine. He strands the bases loaded, but no damage done. We'll head to the top of the third here in Havertown. Still 0-0.
What? It had to have been like 30. Really? Yeah. It was not good.
They should make it more success.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
else
what
is
ours
safe.
was.
Everybody else is safe.
Yeah.
except
Oh, for us, all of our.
away games for us aren't safe.
Really?
I was like,
Does anyone know you're here?
I chased you. That's why I was 20 minutes late.
See, I got killed at a Legion game. So it was at Strathaven where I went. But it wasn't technically a school game, so they got me. I'm like, well, that's not.
I got
Semantics.
I got killed in my locker room.
In your locker room?
Yeah.
Oh, that locker room should be not allowed.
Yeah, I know. Some kid followed me into the
Someone
locker
hit under
room.
my car junior year for one. It's kind of clever. Oh, fair. All we need is one box score shot. You're good. All right, back here in the top of the third, Jimmy Boyle takes him out. He's gone 6 up, 6 down so far. Kyle Miltonberger, the batter. It's your second baseman. Nothing ball game here. Brendan Ricciardi alongside Ben Thorpe for the time being.
I'm here for now. That's until more qualified
Hey,
people
listen,
show up.
I'm more than happy to go back to being the color guy with Shapansky here. That dude rocks. I believe he was talking about what he asked Coach's favorite pizza is. That one's in there for Called Strike. Coach Mark Jordan, you know what his favorite pizza topping is?
I saw it was the eggplant. And I will say this. I don't have buffalo chicken over it, but that's a good shout from them.
It's more just unexpected. Is that pitch is downstairs?
It definitely is, but you got a little fried eggplant, roasted red pepper on the pizza.
It was more just
good.
it was more of just a surprise to be the favorite. You know?
Yeah. Maybe he's vegetarian.
Who knows? Pitch here from Boyle to Miltonberger is skied foul out of play.
I do respect that though. It's a little bit of a ball knower.
What's yours?
See, I'm a big cheese guy, but I don't know. Sometimes a meatball. I think meatball might be.
Fouled away. Meatball's a good one.
Yeah.
I've just fell in love with the pepperoni hot and honey combo.
I mean, that's fantastic.
And I've really enjoyed putting ricotta on pizza lately.
Oh yeah,
really,
yeah.
It's hard to figure out when do you want to put on before, after, during the oven. There's a lot of factors. Pitch here from Miltonberger. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Have you ever
Throw from Sturman over to first base is in time.
Have you ever considered doing it in like the middle of the cooking process?
I've kind of gotten close to like the middle end because if you put it on too early, it melts and it gets a little too.
Yeah, it gets a little
you
too
want
much.
More of the dollops.
Put on late, still kind of cold, but right in the middle.
Yep. All right, 8-hitter here will be Austin Havertine. Strikeout number 5 on the day for Boyle. He was, I believe, 3rd in Delco in strikeouts last year. His first pitch is a swing and a miss from Havertine.
That thing is moving today.
Even from all the way back here, we can see. Havertine checked his swing. Did he go? I don't think he went. They're going to check.
I don't think he did either.
Did
Yep.
Havertine had a big 2-run single in our first game of the week with Radnor and Strathaven. This is Haverford's second appearance in the game of the week all time. I was in there for a called strike. They lost to Strathaven in a great game, 3-2 last year. This is Radnor's second appearance as well, as mentioned, their week 1 win this year over Strathaven. Swing and a miss, he got him. Strikeout number 6 for Jimmy Boyle. Great off-speed pitch.
See, we can move this a little bit this way. Like just turn it, like turn the angle so we can get the other way, so we can get more of the field.
You can mess with it if you want. If you see
I was
something
gonna
you
say,
like.
like if we go like there,
I can help.
yeah, just a little bit more of the field.
9-hitter here is Will Selback. Already ahead 0-2. Can he strike out the side? Pitch from Boyle. That ball is stroked into center field and looks like Shane Durkin's got it measured up, and he will make the catch. 9 up, 9 down for a fired up Jimmy Boyle. We will head to the bottom of the third here in Havertown. We're still scoreless, 0-0.
How many strikeouts do you have right now?
I believe he's got 7. No, 6. I think he has 6. I will double check that real quick. He's got 6.
Okay.
All right, some scores from around the league. Academy Park leads Penwood 2-1. Pencrest leads Ridley 2-0. Not too much action going on yet. Conestoga leads Springfield 1-0. Chichester leads Chester 6-0. A lot of scoreless games going on. Strathaven and Garnet Valley. The recent news, Luke Dancona has a pec strain. Going to miss a little bit of time, but not expected to be season ending.
That's far from the worst thing
Absolutely.
that could have come of that.
When you see pitcher gets taken out in the 4th inning of the game where he had 10 strikeouts, I was thinking elbow or shoulder. Watching the replay, it was kind of hard to tell, but, Coach Feely let us know it was a pec strain. So it's unfortunate, but I think Strathaven has the pitching depth to keep them in it, and they just need to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they'll
they'll
feel good with him against anybody.
Yeah, they'll get through. And yeah, just I
Ron
think-
Matei pitching against Ryan McGee in Strathaven Garnet Valley today.
okay,
Strathaven
it's a
is the
good luck
road
matchup.
team, but it is at Strathaven because of Garnet Valley's field conditions.
Not looking too good over there.
Nope.
We did get a lot of rain.
Wind starting to pick up a little bit. We got Malvern Prep at Episcopal is 0-0. Haverford School Penn Charter also 0-0. Those games started at 4, so a little bit longer for them to get going.
Is that Hunter West going for Episcopal over there?
Check that in a sec here. Right now we're back to the top of the order for Ryan Cassidy. One's downstairs, 1-1. Or 2-0, excuse me. Two-0 pitch coming to Cassidy. Flies out one lazy out into left field. Looks like it'll be playable for Daniel Kells, and he drops it. Ranging backwards, trying to go over his head. It wasn't the easiest play. Looked like a little miscommunication. Tried to catch it running backwards. The first one was a double. I think we're calling that one an error.
That's going to have to be an E. Yeah.
Wasn't the easiest play. The wind starting to kind of take
No,
over
it gets a little weird. It seemed like it got caught in between both guys, but
It's a play that
it's
should
gotta
be
be
made,
caught,
but a
yeah.
tough play given the wind. Looks like it is Hunter West pitching for Episcopal.
Yeah.
All right, well, quick runner on second, regardless of whether it was a double or an error. Jimmy Boyle can help himself out a little bit here.
Gonna bunt here or let him hit, you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if they try and lay one down, but we'll see if that's. It looks like he's going to square. He's going to bunt it. It's going to be down the first base line and foul.
I was spinning there for a
It was
second.
close. It was for a second, like it might stay fair.
We've seen stranger things.
See if on the 0-1 count, Jimmy Boyle once again squared a bunt.
I think you give it another go here.
Boyle's not going to score this time. He's going to take a pitch in the dirt. Cassie will get over to third. There will be no throw.
That works just as well.
That's basically a bunt without losing the outfield.
Basically.
Now a big opportunity for Jimmy Boyle, who could certainly earn the player of the game with just his pitching. But I'll tell you what, an RBI single here would certainly help.
It's gonna put him well ahead of everyone else as favorites for that.
I would say our best performance of the year so far in the game of the week was Jack Quinn last week. 4 RBIs and 5 strong innings on the bump.
Another good day out of him yesterday too.
Pitch from Boyle. This one looks like it was a strike.
I believe
think.
so. Yeah.
I'm seeing clapping on the Radnor dugout.
I think that was a strike. I think probably caught like the low outside corner there.
Runner on third, no outs for Jimmy Boyle at the plate. So he hits that one. Looks like it's going to be down the first base line and foul out of play.
There's a lot of different practices going on
Yeah,
around this field.
I think it is. There's tennis behind. Oh, there was.
We got
behind
tennis.
us. There was tennis. I'm seeing
We got-
track. I'm seeing field.
We got JV baseball throwing some bullpens.
Pitch to Jimmy Boyle here.
There's
Fouled
some
that one.
across a ways away.
Where do you see that?
Way down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, down the hill.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably safe.
Yeah,
But
we should all
everyone,
be watching this ball game here today.
yeah. I think a lot of people are making their way over. It's-
Yep, fan section starting to fill out around the outfield. When I used to play here, I'm sure you felt the same. There was no fences.
No. Well,
Maybe one left field, but not like they have it now.
I think sometimes people still stood in the outfield though because it was far enough
And it's
away.
pitch Jimmy Boyle, a diving stop at second base. The one-run will
It's gonna
score,
do a job.
and that does the job as Haverford will take a 1-0 lead. Jimmy Boyle with a ground out to second base. A fantastic play at second base by Kyle Miltenberger.
Sometimes that's
It's a
all you gotta
win-win for
do.
both teams,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. I think it is still early, so if you're Radnor, you can take that out, take the run, and you're gonna have to score to win anyway.
All right, well, that'll be a fresh 1 out, nobody on for Shane Durkin, who grounds that one over to shortstop. That'll be in the hole for a base hit. Puts it right in between Blake Havertine at third and Joe Krasowski at short. 1 out and a runner on base. Good job not trying to do too much there.
No, yeah, sometimes that's all you gotta do.
Pitcher throwing this hard, sometimes all you got to do is just, get the bat on the ball. That'll bring in my pick for a home run today, Nick Alvanian.
Oh, I think that was my pick as well. So
What did I pick?
I think we both picked Nick Alvanian.
Well, he better.
I can pick someone else.
I think I said Ryan Cassidy was my other pick.
Yeah.
That'll work. The Delco Base will now pick
Yeah,
Pick the play.
Nick O'Vane.
There's our guy Dave.
Hey, how we
Get Dave
doing?
set up here. We got a 1-0 game. That was you saw the only scoring play of the game so far. Nick O'Vane, that one's in there for a called strike. Mentioned not any real good places to put the stream set up, but we're here. We're live.
We found somewhere.
We found love in a hopeless place. Durkin with a big lead over at first. Another throw over. Ooh, he's safe at first. That one was close.
I think he's looking to take a bag here.
How many disengagements do you get in high school?
I do not.
Unlimited.
Oh, who was the? We could ask the guy we ran into. Yeah,
That's right. I think you get unlimited.
I believe so.
Pitch to Alvanian. Fouls that one back. Durkin did take off, but he's going to have to head back to first. Big hack from Nick Alvanian. Haverford leads at 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Jimmy Boyle's gone 9 up, 9 down on the mound. Haverford stranded, the bases loaded in the second inning. They got a run here on Jimmy Boyle ground out as Nick Alvanian fouls that one back. See if Shane Durkin's ready to steal again. Pitch from Alvanian, swing and a miss. It's dropped by Zach Fine, but he'll be tugged out easily, and Durkin advances to second. Cam McCormick, the batter, another great opportunity for Haverford. Runner on second, 2 outs.
Nope, go ahead. Supposed to be a good home run pick right here.
Someone's telling me it's low on battery, but it should be in the portable charge. First pitch is in there, low and away. I believe it should be charging now, but if it dies, you know why. We'll get another one ready to go, so. Pitch here to McCormick, that one's fouled away. Tell you what, talk about a guy who uses his legs, Cam McCormick.
Yeah,
He puts everything he's got into these swings, and it's just a sophomore. He might be the biggest player on the field besides maybe Kellis.
yeah, that's a really big dude up there. I would not want to miss anything where he can hit it.
He almost hit one out of the bank at the Carpenter Cup as a freshman last year. I think at least maybe one hop the wall in right center.
Is that wood bat or metal bat?
I actually don't. I think it's metal. I don't remember actually. That's a good question.
I'm gonna say if he did that with
He's
a
gonna
wood,
head to third on that pass ball.
if he did that with wood as a
I
freshman,
think it's metal.
that would be ridiculous.
Hope this portable charger is in fact on. It's supposed to be on.
That could be a problem if it's not, but I think we'll be okay.
Pitch from McCormick. Fit inside. 2 outs, runner on third for Cam McCormick. All he's got to do is poke a little base hit here. Shane Durkin advanced to third on the pass ball.
I'd be a little wary of who's coming up next year with Sam Starman. Already got him for a double.
Swing and a miss. Great off-speed pitch from
It's a really good pitch.
Havertine there. Pitch in there is a bit outside as Cam McCormick
Leaves
draws
it.
a walk. Sam Sturman, who already launched a double in his last at-bat, getting ready to go here. Hasn't got much work on the mound this year as expected, but he's been a big part of the offense so far for Haverford.
Done a very good job out of the middle of the order so far. I don't have the exact stats, but he's been in a lot of box scores.
Yeah, Haverford doesn't have their stats public, unfortunately.
Battery still low?
Nothing's popped up yet. That ball's grounded over to shortstop. Joe Krasowski will fire over to first and get Havertine out of the inning. But Haverford jumps on the board for our first run of the game on an RBI ground out from Jimmy Boyle. We'll head to the top of the fourth here in Havertown. Fords lead at 1-0.
How we doing? I'll let you take your rightful seat here. Oh, thanks, Ben. Yep. I think it's top. What's up?
Yeah, it's top of the order. 9 up, 9 down so far.
Welcome back here to Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. David Shapansky with you, Brendan Ricciardi. Good to be with you, Brendan. School took me some time today, but glad to be here with you, buddy. Much colder than the last time we were together.
We got 80 and sunny the last time, and we thought, maybe we've turned a corner. We have not
We
turned a
haven't.
corner. No. At least the sun's out. That helps.
It does, yeah. I mean, it's been rain and clouds pretty much every day for the past week. It seems like here in the Delaware Valley. But top of the order coming up for Radnor, 1-0 lead for Haverford. Traffic was kind to me though, Brendan.
That's
so
good.
that was a
Heard
good
about the
thing.
Blue
And the parking was kind to me as well. A little bit of a deeper field though than what we were talking about with Marple.
Wind's blowing out today.
Most definitely, heavy wind gust here. Thanks, Ben, for filling in. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Wow, it's just Brendan.
Got a couple score updates before we get rolling here. Garnet Valley now leads Strathaven 2-0. Ridley is still trailing Pencrest 2-0. A lot of zeros around. Academy Park leads Penwood 4-1. Chichester leads Chester 9-0. Conestoga now leads Springfield 3-0. We're focused on you can say game of the week if you want. I'm saying game of the year so far based on
I like it,
what
Brendan.
these teams,
Keep building up the energy.
You know what? Switching these two teams in the power rankings, I think, really got a lot of people talking, especially Radnor players that were not happy about it. But
Not very happy.
there's only one way to figure it out. That's on the field.
And here is my hand. Looks like ball one. And I was listening on the way here. It is very hard to tell balls and strikes from this location.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a lot of guessing.
We're going off what the dugouts are telling
Sure.
us.
I like that. Cloud cover comes over. The 1-0 is chopped on the ground over to third. Keller is in, and it will go foul. It's 1-1. And also, too, I mean, heading into this game with the weather, of course, I do have to say, I mean, the field looks pretty good. I mean, considered how much rain we've had over the past few days, I mean, I don't see any noticeable wet spots. So good job by the grounds crew here at Haverford.
Yeah, and I think the wind really does a good job at helping kind of get
Sure.
rid of that water. Being sunny all day definitely helped too. And honestly, being cold can help with that.
Yeah, that kind of being dried by the wind, if you will.
Exactly.
Good crowd on hand, too. Had the chance to walk through the outfield. 1-1 strike to count. Boyle, the right-hander, comes set, and his pitch to Monahan is fouled back to the cage. It's 1-2.
Is it just me or does Coach Jordan look like he's wearing a Haverford colored hat?
It does. I think he is.
I can't tell.
That's nice. I had heard that you said that you wanted the sweatshirt, too, that you were adding that to your bucket list.
The Haverford coach has a great Ford's jacket, but I'm not sure why the Radnor coach is. Maybe that's the only winter hat he had.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Boyle. This one's hit on the ground over to third. From Boyle, Keller is third at first, is in time, dug out by McCormack over at first base, and that is the first out here in the fourth.
When people talk about first base defense, a lot of people like to make fun of, like how little is usually required at first base. No one talks about the picks. Growing up playing first base, people are like, oh, you have plenty of time to field the ground ball, or you don't have to throw much. But the picks, you can really save your pitcher and your infielder some trouble.
Extremely hard to judge, too. First pitch here is a ball from Boyle.
I love turf for that.
Joe Krasowski is the batter for Radnor. 10 up, 10 down for Jimmy Boyle, who entered this game with an ERA of just above 2. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Also going to have to do our best to hear the umpire today, which I'm sure, Brendan, you've been dealing with for the past 3 innings or so.
It's definitely tough angle. As great as the Haverford backdrop looks behind the plate,
it does look good.
Not much room for us there.
The 1-1 is in there for a strike. It's 1-2, I believe, to Krasowski. And also, too, I mean, in a weather game like this, where it's extremely windy, extremely cold, you have to think the pitching is going to hold on here. So maybe 1 run is all Haverford needs to get the victory. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is called strike 3. Another strikeout for Jimmy Boyle. Taps on his chest a couple times. He's fired up with the strikeout of Kozowski.
Number 7 on the day for him. And I'll tell you what, that slider, both to lefties and righties, they're not seeing it well. Usually it's the righties who think it's going to hit them and it breaks in, but the lefties think it's outside and right down the middle.
Here's Matt Chholsky, due up for Radnor. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. I had the chance to talk to Coach Jordan the other day, and he emphasized how his offense really has had a couple big innings, and that's how they win games. They haven't had many games where their offense has consistently put up a run or two here and there. I mean, it's been really lots of zeros and then that big inning. So we'll see if that happens here anytime today. But so far, Jimmy Boyle off to a
Try to get this portable charger working here.
Brendan has all the cords hooked up.
Yeah, they don't seem to be hooked up.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Boyle's 1-1 is in there for a strike, and it's now 1-2 to Shahulski with 2 outs again here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 lead for the home Haverford Fords. David Chmansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The pitch swung and missed. It's 8 strikeouts, back-to-back Ks for Jimmy Boyle as Shahulski goes down to end the 4th. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It's a 1-0 lead for Haverford here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel.
Strikes.
I'm assuming we have cut out. We're back. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why this portable charger. No, we're on right now. I feel like my phone's gonna die because it's portable chargers.
Welcome back as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Haverford. 1-0 lead. Havertine back to work, and a check swing strike here to Rocco Keller, who is the batter for Haverford. 0-1. David Chmansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. The 0-1, I believe, is a ball. It's 1-1. Havertine gave up the 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And here we are now in the bottom of the 4th, moving right along despite the wind and cold. The 1-1 looks like outside. It's 2-1 perhaps.
The stream cuts off at all. It's because this phone charge is not working, but I have another backup plan here.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. Brendan's going to attend to the backup plan.
Just make sure it's all ready to go.
Havertine, the right-hander, comes set. And is 2-1 pitch, a little bit low. It's 3-1, it appears. The 3-1 pitch is hit in the air to right field, and this one's going to fall in for a base hit in front of Selbach. And Keller is aboard with a base hit to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Ben Ishmael is coming up for Haverford.
Looks like Daniel Kellis is starting to warm up in the Radnor bullpen. He just walked by us here.
Yeah, so far, Havertine is through, 3 innings so far, working here into the 4th. But as you said, Brendan, listening on my way here, I mean, he's thrown a good amount of balls. The ball-strike ratio has not been great for Havertine.
No, and I think the plan from the start was going to be the squares to bunt and pulls back. I think the plan from the start was going to be for them to kind of split the game. So I think he was a little less worried about pitch count, more just about getting outs. And so far, he's only let up the 1 run.
Ishmael shows bunt, pulls it back. No balls and 1 strike to count, and this one is going to be bunted towards 3rd base. Havertine comes in. He's going to field it, fire it to first in time for the out, but Keller will move up to second. Good sacrifice there, and that'll bring up Will Elias with a chance to extend Haverford's lead to 2. Looks like that will bring up Elias now. Also, Haverford appearing to make a change there at second, possibly a courtesy runner. David Chmansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. 1-0 lead for Haverford. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Havertine still out there on the mound for Radnor. Runner at second is Keller. We had a substitution there for a second. So far, Jimmy Boyle has been dominant, 12 up, 12 down for the Fords. And we still have a timeout here as it appears the umpire is figuring something out, Brendan.
We got a courtesy runner at second. I'm trying to see what the number is right there.
Well, it looks like we're ready to go after a couple pauses, as Will Elias has a chance with one out and a runner on second.
Whoever it is does not appear to be on the roster.
And maybe it is a pinch runner.
Yeah, I guess it's a pinch runner. Well, either way, I guess it appears to be.
It wasn't clear. Whatever the decision was, it was not clear. But is a runner on second. Keller was the Haverford hitter who had a base hit, and they'll have a mound visit coming up here. So, Brendan, that will give us some time. I know you're fixing some things, but the question of the week, question of the game, in honor of you being a great pizza maker yourself, talked about this at Marple. Well, we kind of know your answer from social media, but favorite pizza topping? I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, too.
I fell in love with the combo of the pepperoni and the hot and honey. I think it's, it's a rookie. It's kind of late, to arrive new in the game. It's kind of trying to threaten some of the older veteran pizzas.
Sure.
But I think, I think it's got all the talent to stick around for a long time. And I like adding a little ricotta to that. And
sounds good.
You got some good stuff. I know you're barbecue chicken or
yeah, barbecue chicken and cheesesteak. Really good. Coach Jordan's answer was extremely interesting.
Yeah,
eggplant.
I've never met someone who said
I've
that.
had it once in New York, actually. It was pretty solid. Pretty solid.
It was more. It's not that it's a bad choice. More of a surprising.
It is. It's unique. It is. And Coach Miller Buffalo Chicken, which is much more common.
Standard.
Yes. As here's Will Elias, runner on second for Haverford. One out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 lead for the Fords. Havertine's still out there, and the pitch is a little bit inside. It's 1-0. Again, it appears Kellis is warming up in the Radnor bullpen, or at least went past us there for a little bit. David Chabansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on this windy and cold Tuesday afternoon. Wind chills in the 30s. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Elias. Havertine, the right-hander, comes set from the stretch, and the 1-0 is in there for a strike. Good pitch there from Havertine to come back. And you could tell he's been fighting with his command a little bit, but trying to get out of this, just keeping that one run on the board for the Fords.
Yeah, the stuff isn't the issue. It's where he's putting it.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Did have a pinch runner of some sort again over there at second. 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Havertine comes set, and the righty delivers home. The 1-1 is hit in the air. It's weak towards first base. Shaholsky is over there. He'll jump and make the catch for the second out in foul territory. And Elias is retired, keeping that runner at second. And that will bring up Ryan Cassidy back to the top of the lineup for Haverford.
This would be big for Havertine. I would have to imagine likely his last inning here if they're planning on kind of going for a little split. So I don't know if they want him to pitch that third time through the order.
Well, here's Cassidy again, back to the top of the lineup. Left-handed batter steps in with a runner in scoring position. 1-0 lead for Haverford here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. David Chabansky, Brendan Ricciardi. Brendan, this feels like a big moment in this game. You already got 1 in for Haverford. To get 2 on this cold day against a good pitcher in Boyle, 12 up, 12 down is a tough task. First pitch is high and outside. It's 1-0 to Cassidy.
Boyles hasn't thrown too many pitches yet. 12 up, 12 down so far.
Might be able to hear the pop of the mitt from Kellis behind us, who's getting warm for Radnor.
That screen holds up.
Most definitely with Kellis. 1 ball, no strikes to count. The pitch is swung on and missed. Big cut there from Cassidy, and it's 1-1 as Havertine just blew it right by him.
And that's what you can expect from Daniel Kellis at all.
Yeah, the Penn
up a little bit.
Penn recruit.
Yep.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Again, runner on second. Was a leadoff single for Haverford.
Owen Click is the pinch runner here.
Owen Click over there at second base. The 1-1 is outside, and it's now 2-1. And for Haverford, trying to, again, extend their lead, had that leadoff base runner, was able to get him over to second with 1 out. Elias popped up to Shaholsky, and now there's 2 outs for Cassidy. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The righty Havertine comes set. Looks back to the runner at second, delivers home. This one is hitting the ground through the hole into right field for a base hit. Rounding third is Click. He will score, and it's an RBI single for Ryan Cassidy, who extends the Fords' lead to 2-0.
Brian Miller's got to feel good about himself right now, making that call to get the pinch runner at second. Not that Ishmael wouldn't have scored there, but to be able to go, hey, we need a base hit, we need some speed. To be able to have that payoff has to be pretty rewarding.
Well, that will bring up Jimmy Boyle, who can extend his lead even further on the mound, give him some run support. But already 2 runs in, 1 run in this inning against Havertine. Big base hit with 2 outs from Ryan Cassidy.
wouldn't be surprised to see Cassidy take off here. Maybe not first pitch, but pretty early in the count.
And Havertine thinking the same thing, checks back over to Cassidy on first. Shaholski makes the grab. Cassidy sliding back in safely. 2-0 lead for Haverford. Again, this is a Haverford team that has averaged 11 runs in their last 4 games, so their offense can score. And again, we get a dive and a check back in over there at first. Cassidy in safely.
Yeah, I mean, talking to Coach Miller before the season, that was his concern with this
Sure.
team. You know, he said, we know we have the pitching. We know we're going to play good defense. Can our bats? They don't have to be elite. They just have to be very good, but they've been as good as you can ask for lately.
First pitch here is hitting the road to left field. This one's going to drop in through the hole for a base hit. And Kellis is over there to his right. He'll field it. But it's going to be runners on
Kellis
first
in
and
the
second.
bullpen. That is, it looks like Hayden Goldenberg in left
Sure.
field with Kellis now in the bullpen.
Yeah, Goldenberg comes into left field. So it's now first and seconds for Haverford, still with 2 outs. And now it's Brendan back-to-back hits with 2 outs against Havertine, which is tough to do in hit or against him in the game period, let alone with 2 outs and getting a runner in.
Yeah, now Shane Durkin has that potential to put one in the gap here, potentially make it a 4-0 game. Looks like we have another pinch runner here at first base. Not really. That was Boyle, so that'll be a courtesy runner, which looks like that is, I believe Pete Maneris is number 8. That's what I'm seeing. So that is a courtesy runner, but the pinch runner was definitely Owen Click.
Well, here's Durkin, and this is the guy you want up if you're Haverford to really kind of blow open the game. A guy who had 296 last year, an OPS of close to 1,000. And, you know, Coach Miller talked to him the other day about Durkin and just really stressed, you know, this is a guy who's been with them obviously for a good amount of time now, has really increased his leadership. And, I mean, his offense is really coming along in his high school career.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best hitter, I should say, as a sophomore. He was getting good time as a freshman, so now it's just continuing to watch him develop.
Well, Durkin has a chance to extend the lead. And the first pitch here is a ball. It's 1-0. And both of these teams, the battle of the undefeated here in this one. And Haverford with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 outs, runners on first and second. And the batter is Shane Durkin facing Austin Havertine. The 1-0 is outside again. It's 2-0. And now you hear Kellis warming up
I heard
quickly.
I heard that one. All right, I believe we're back on the air here. For some reason, this portable charger that I bought just does not work.
Do you have your receipt on the portable charger, Brendan?
I have this attachment here. It's supposed to be
The receipt may be needed in this situation.
The charger isn't the problem. The problem is this cord is supposed to allow you to charge it and have the headphone jack in at the same time, and it's not.
We're better back. That's a good thing. 2-0 lead for Haverford. That last batter, if you did miss it, strikeout there by Durkin. So Havertine gets through the 4th, and you know, if you are Radnor, I mean, I know that, you know, Havertine gave up 2 runs on a day like this. It's going to be hard to come back from. But, I mean, considering the base runners there, especially in that last inning with the amount of traffic, to hold Haverford to 2 overall was a pretty good job there from Austin Havertine to battle through some command issues.
Yeah, limit the damage. I mean, you know that, you have the pitching staff to be able to hold them throughout the game and allow your offense to wake up. But at this point, with the way Boyle has looked, it's it's hard to see 2 runs coming across.
Well, it's been 12 up, 12 down for Jimmy Boyle so far. And Boyle goes back to work here in the top of the 5th. 4, 5, and 6. Evan Hartman, Zach Fine, and Daniel Kellis are the schedule hitters. And it also appears that Kellis, while he's down here warming up, seems like the guys came down to check on him. Seems like he's almost ready to go. And first pitch here is fouled back. Also did talk to Coach Jordan the other day about Kellis. Said that, he's a guy that does take some time to warm up. So you have to give him a good amount of time to get things ready here in this one. No balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch home, swung on and fouled back, and it's 0-2 to Hartman. 8 strikeouts for Jimmy Boyle on the mound through 4 innings, Brendan. I mean, he's been firing it really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's that slider. He throws hard, don't get me wrong, upper 80s, maybe even 90, but it's the slider that has made him so successful. And both righties and lefties just can't seem to figure it out. David
Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. The 0-2 home, swung on and missed. And it is a drop third strike. The throw down to first is in time, so it's a strikeout there against Hartman, and now it's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Jimmy Boyle, and it's his 9th overall of the afternoon.
He just has the feeling of a big game pitcher. More people watching, bigger the stakes, the better he is. He had 12 strikeouts in their playoff win against Penridge last year.
As we said earlier, too, a good crowd on hand for this game as well. And I mean, it is freezing. We want to stress that. I mean, we're bundled up in coats. I thought about bringing the sweatshirt out, have the scarf in the car. And here is Zach Fine up to the plate. I know, Brendan, you said at State College you played him worse, but this is about as worse as I think April baseball will get.
Yeah, I think the sun being out definitely helps. I mean, once you start moving around, it feels a lot better.
The 1-0 was swung on and missed. It's 1-1. To Zach Fine and Jimmy Boyle so far, I mean, dealing right now, and kind of has that rhythm out there, and you can see it. I mean, picks up the rosin here and there, but I mean, he's just getting it and firing. And when you get kind of settled in that rhythm, Radnor has to do anything they can to try to at least get a base runner here in the 5th.
Yeah, if I was them, I'd start maybe calling time a little more, trying to kind of throw him off, maybe piss him off a little bit.
Up here, it's 2-1. This ball is kind of looped into right center field for a base hit, and there it is. A 1-out single for Zach Fine. It's the first hit, the first base runner of the day for Radnor, and Radnor trying to mount a comeback with a 1-out single.
Good piece of hitting, not trying to do too much. He was our first-team All-Delco catcher last year, and he's just a very pure hitter. Not going to see him hit one 400 feet, but he's very good at spreading the ball around, and he's been there. Kind of came out of nowhere last year, but now he's a big part of the core. So it looks like Kellis is heading back to the field. Jordan's kind of giving him that, that I think he's hitting soon. So,
well, Kellis is due up now, and first pitch here is a little bit low. It's 1-0.
It looks like Jordan was almost trying to tell him to get back to the dugout as if they were going to sub him back in during the at bat. That's almost what it looked like. Either way, it's Hayden Goldenberg batting right now.
Yeah, Hayden Goldenberg is at the plate. This is, though, Kellis' spot, and Kellis heading back from the bullpen. Runner at first is Fine, and now Boyle will step off a little bit. And, for Radnor, we were just talking about it. Maybe that's all they needed to kind of adjust things up a little bit and make Boyle go from the stretch for the first time today.
Really, yeah.
The right-hander Boyle comes set with 9 strikeouts. His pitch home appeared to be a little inside, possibly up. And they thought about checking back on Fine, but he's not going anywhere with 1 out. Hartman led off the inning with a strikeout. Sorry, 10 strikeouts now. No, 9, I'm sorry, for Boyle. 2-0 lead for Haverford here in the top of the 5th. Hayden Goldberg at the plate. Of a check back here from Boyle over to first. McCormack will make the catch. Sliding in safely is Fine. Hayden Goldenberg, the right-hander, facing the righty Boyle, who has been excellent today. Just 1 hit given up for Haverford. He comes set. His pitch home as the runner starts, then stops.
I believe he went.
Yeah, check swing. Looks like a strike. Again, very hard to see from our angle. And at Marple, we couldn't really see the first base line. And now here, it's hard to see the plate, especially because the pitcher is in the sun, which also could possibly play a factor.
Well, you saw the Phillies complain about that.
Yeah, against Washington in opening day. And the runner at first, the 1-out pitch home is in there for a strike, I believe, to Goldenberg.
Hard to tell. I thought it was upstairs, but I'm not sure.
I thought I heard the umpire say strike, but I could be wrong. Regardless, Goldenberg's still at the plate, and the runner at first is Fine. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you on Delco Baseball now here in the top of the 5th. 1 out, 2-0 lead for Haverford. Radnor trying to at least advance this runner up to second and give them a chance with a runner in scoring position. Hayden Goldenberg, the batter, and this is a close pickoff attempt.
He dropped it.
And just sliding in there safely is fine. That's a pretty good move from a right-hander Boyle.
It's hard for a righty to have a really good
Absolutely.
pickoff move.
Taiwan Walker, speaking, does have a really good one. And we can talk about the struggles of Taiwan Walker, but he has a really good pickoff move. Does it better than probably any righty, at least in Major League Baseball. Pitch home from Boyle is a called strike 3, make it 10 strikeouts as Goldenberg is down looking, and that will give a chance to Kyle Miltenberger with 2 outs and a runner on first.
I believe his career high last year was 12, so we'll see if we can crack that. It looks like he's on pace to do so right now.
Definitely on pace, especially with the way the first few innings went. And Kyle Miltenberger now up to the plate. Righty on righty matchup. Still that runner on first is Zach Fine. He had a 1-out single, bloop single to right center field. Here in the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 lead for Haverford here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Miltenberger and then Austin Havertine is on deck. And the pitch home is popped up, hit in the air down the right field line. And this one will go foul, as over to give it a look was Cassidy. And it's 0-1. You could see the approach from Miltenberger kind of just put the ball in play at this point against a guy like Jimmy Boyle.
It's easier said than done.
Absolutely. Especially in, on a day like this where we talked about it, but really extremely difficult day to hit. No balls and 1 strike to count. Boyle comes set with a runner at first, comes home, runner from first Fine is taken off, and he is going to be safe as the catcher dropped it. So now it's a runner in scoring position for Kyle Miltenberger. See what he can do here. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. As Boyle on the mound with 10 strikeouts. Comes set facing Miltenberger. And the pitch home is hit in the air to left center field. And this ball is going to get over the head. It's going to turn around as Ishmael. One is in. Miltenberger out to second. And it's a 2-out RBI double for Kyle Miltenberger. And I think the wind might have hit them out a little bit there. It's a 2-1 lead for Haverford. But Radnor's on the board.
Yeah, same thing with what happened earlier with the fly ball from Sturman. Just keeps carrying.
Yeah, Ishmael kind of got turned around right to left, and really the only thing he could do was kind of just watch it sail over his head at that point. And so it's a 2-out double for Miltenberger, and that will bring up Austin Havertine, who at least is the scheduled hitter. And Havertine has a chance to tie this ball game up. Let's see, Brendan, can you see his little pinch hitter?
Ryan McWilliams pinch hitting.
Well, we saw McWilliams have a great day against Strathaven, so this is an opportunity for Radnor to tie this ball game up. So McWilliams at the plate, righty facing the righty Boyle, and again, kind of this inning just started, had the strikeout to Hartman, but, had the single from Fine, and ever since then, I mean, yes, Boyle had the strikeout against Goldenberg, but you had Miltenberger come up with a big double.
Hey, look, Coach Jordan changed his puffy hat. He's not wearing the Haverford color anymore. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that was the good luck charm for Radnor. Boyle comes set, and this pitch is fouled back. Good swing, though, from McWilliams. No balls and 1 strike to count. Runner at second. And again, I think it just goes back to, Boyle having to pitch from the stretch, really, for the first time. And that kind of change of pace, if you will, here in the top of the 5th inning. Boyle, the right-hander, comes set. Runner at second is Miltenberger. The batter is McWilliams, and this one swung on and missed 0-2. And you could see McWilliams really wants another RBI here, trying to tie this game up.
He was pressing a little bit on that one, trying to be aggressive. It's hard to blame him.
Well, this is a big at-bat. I mean, you're already here in the 5th, getting into the latter part of the game, and you don't know if you're going to get another chance like this. Radnor's offense has been inconsistent, to say the least, this season. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The pitch home stealing for third is Miltenberger, but it's a called strike 3. And making 11 strikeouts as the pinch hitter McWilliams is retired. Jimmy Boyle threw 5 innings, 1 run on 2 hits, and 1 man left. We played 5 full innings here at Haverford High School. We'll head to we played 4.5 innings here at Haverford High School. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-1 lead for Haverford.
Looks like Kellis is taking over.
It's an opportunity to see Daniel Kellis. And it will be 4, 5, and 6. Alvanian, McCormick, and Sturman due up here this inning for Haverford. And we'll see if the forwards have a response here.
Kellis thrown 7 innings so far this year, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 11 Ks, good for a nice 1 ERA.
Yeah, Callis, I mean, extremely hard to hit for many different reasons. But, I mean, just one of them is out there. He's imposing when he's out there on the mound. I mean, he's tall. He delivers home very quickly. And just that threat, I think, when you face, especially when you see that fastball coming at you, is very difficult to square up.
Yeah, and he starts very closed off. So any righty, the ball is going to almost kind of start behind you. And the way the slider is, it's going to hook, looks like it's going to hit you based on how close he is. So I would say, I mean, it's a tall task to hit him either way, but I think lefties will have a little bit more success just based on his angles.
Well, Ryan McWilliams is going to come into the game to be the new left fielder for Radnor. So Kellis on the mound, McWilliams going to be at the plate. I'm sorry, McWilliams at left, Kellis going to be on the mound. But it will be interesting to see if, we see McWilliams at some point in this game, but you would imagine Kellis going to go at least the next few. 2-1 lead for Haverforders. We're about to start the bottom of the 5th inning here on this chilly Tuesday afternoon. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now. Alvanian will lead things off for Haverford. Then McCormick and Sturman, again, 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Fords. And Kellis going to relieve as we get a mound visit here before the inning starts. But Kellis is going to relieve Havertine, who again, Brendan, what was your thoughts on Havertine? Goes 4 innings. Again, limited the damage as best as he could.
Yeah, I'd call it good, not great. I think from what we've seen from him, he wasn't quite as sharp with the location. The stuff still moved good. And, he obviously had the velocity, but I think we've seen him be a lot more precise, like especially against Strathaven. But some of the walks, hurt him a little bit more. And I think it makes sense that he's coming out at this time. They don't want him to see the full lineup a third time.
Absolutely. And Kellis, gives him an opportunity. Coach Jordan said that he's been itching to start games, and we'll see if that comes up at some point in time. But obviously with the nature of this game, you go to a guy like Havertine, a big game pitcher, has been excellent this season. First pitch here to Alvanian. Appears to be a ball.
I think it was down.
A little bit outside. I want to know.
Kellis has the higher upside, but I think Havertine's been your guy for 2 years, and he deserved this start.
And the 1-0 pitch from Kellis is swung on and missed. It's 1-1. And that's what Kellis does to you. I mean, makes you look fooled at the plate.
You don't have much time to react. You said it earlier how imposing he is. Like, he's definitely got a couple of inches in height on Havertine, and he has long strides, too.
The 1-1 pitch to Alvanian. Looks like it's a little bit low and outside. It's 2-1. Again, McCormick, the first baseman, due up after Alvanian. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 lead for Haverford. Radnor just getting on the board in their half of the 5th. We'll see if Haverford can respond. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch from Kellis. It's a little bit outside. It's 3-1. Alvanian doing everything he can to try to work a base runner to begin things here against Kellis. Get that pitch count up a little bit, Brendan.
Yeah, that was Ben's pick to hit a home run this game with the wind blowing out.
Oh, 3-1. Hits him, I believe, in the helmet possibly, and he is
I think it hit him in the helmet.
not happy.
Liked his helmet down.
Hopefully he is okay, and Alvanian is heading down to first base, and the Haverford dugout is not thrilled. I doubt that was, any sense of the imagination of intentional.
I think that was more of just like when Bryce Harper got hit in the face on the thumb, he was mad, but he's not mad at Kellis. He's mad at the ball hitting it. It's not anything personal. It's just more of an ow,
And McCormick is coming up, but right away, Alvanian threw down the helmet, and hopefully he's okay. It appears that he is. He'll head down to first base, and now McCormick, the first baseman, has a chance, lefty-righty against Kellis. But not exactly what Kellis wanted to do to begin his outing here in the bottom of the 5th, especially when your team just got on the board and you really want that shutdown inning if you're Radnor.
Yeah, I think last year for Kellis, the issue was control. He had 32 strikeouts, 27 walks. Not quite the ratio you're looking for. I think for him, it's just a matter of, you have all that stuff and the accuracy. I think he just called a balk.
Yeah, and the umpire behind Kellis, standing in front of the second base bag, calls a balk, and the Haverford bench is loving it. They're really making noise. And on a cold day like this, that's also going to keep you warm for the bench. And it's getting rowdy at Haverford High School. So I think down to second is Alvanian on the balk, and looks like Coach Jordan is not very happy with this call. I didn't see much. And now also Kellis arguing as well.
Oh, we got some singing going on in the Haverford dugout.
They're trying to keep warm because, both dugouts are kind of in the shade, but at least Haverford has a little bit of sun poking at their backs.
Looks like Coach Jordan's trying to go get a better explanation here.
I didn't see much, Brendan. Also, I think from where we're sitting, it's a little difficult to see when exactly Kellis came set there.
It looks like he's trying to say that Ben, as the pitcher, do you see anything here?
Here's our analyst.
So I kind of missed the balk call itself. He could also be upset with the Haverford dugout, like yelling while he's coming set. That would be the only thing I could think of.
Thanks, Ben.
As always, our sideline reporter, Ben, doing a great job.
Honestly, I had my head down looking at the stream when it happened, but I just saw him kind of call
Yeah,
time.
point to second, too.
But I think that it's good that Jordan came out, to get that explanation because it kind of gives Kellis a chance to reset.
Sure.
The Haverford dugout has definitely quieted down a little bit since they were, a minute ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen the umpire go over to the Haverford bench, so I don't think it was about the noise. I think it was more about the balk call, which is understandable. I mean, like I said, I didn't get the great look at it. Regardless, even if we saw it, it's very hard to tell from our vantage point. As here's Campbell McCormick, who steps in now with a runner on second, nobody out, and Kellis going to step off here. And Cam McCormick.
Cam McCormick, the fifth, believe it or not. 4 more of them. Yeah, he's the fifth. I don't know too many of the fifths out there, or maybe the fourth. It's one of the somethings.
Haverford dugout still making noise. Kellis, the Penn commit, comes set, and that's a strike. It's 0-1. Again, 2-1 lead for Haverford here in the bottom of the fifth. Here at Haverford High School, David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Kellis trying to keep that runner stranded at second. It's Albanian.
Wouldn't be Delco High School baseball if there wasn't benches chirping. That's what we're here for. We made the stakes this high.
Well, you had a chance to interview O'Hara's bench mob last week. The 0-1 is hit in the air in left field. McWilliams is back. This one's over his head. It's going to bounce off the mesh. Heading into third and scoring is Albanian. Pulling in a second with a double is McCormick. And the Haverford bench is fired up. It's a 3-1 lead for the Fords.
That's a battle of future D1 baseball players right there. Cam McCormick, just a sophomore, so he can't commit to a school until August 1st of his junior year. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys see each other again at the next level. And just a great piece of hitting to take that the other way, not try and do too much. The strength that he has at just a sophomore is incredible.
I know it's hard to see with the stream, obviously, kind of pointed at home plate, but McWilliams really did not play that ball that well, and I think a lot of it came from the wind once again, especially here out of left field. I mean, this wind has the ball swirling all over. The way McWilliams had it, I thought it was going to be an easy catch for him, and then it just continued to go over his head, and now we're going to throw back down to second.
It would have been close whether it would have been a great catch, but I think he just did not see it. Also, the sun being right there.
It's right in our eyes, and it's right in his, Here's Sam Sturman up to the plate now. And that runner at second is McCormick. Still nobody out. 3-1 lead for Haverford. And this is where the Fords have a chance to really put this game away here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Kellis comes set. The 1-0 pitch is a little bit outside. It's 2-0. And the Haverford bench doing a really good job at making noise because Kellis has struggled with this command here so far in the first 2 batters.
Keep hearing rattled.
Yeah, and that's the word, I think, right now, is Kellis struggling here. We'll see if he can settle in. Sturman again at the plate. 2 balls and no strike to count. The pitch home is again popped up. This one is going to go foul, and it's now 2-1. Again, 3-1 lead for Haverford, and this is a battle of our 2 top seeds here in the Delco Baseball Now power rankings, and so far, Haverford, in the first 5 innings, they've come out ready to go.
Yeah, and it feels like with Haverford right now, they're sitting fastball because they know Kellis' off-speed stuff, A, is nasty, and B, isn't getting in there for strikes. So they're saying, hey, if we look dumb swinging a curveball, that's fine, or a slider, but we're going to hunt the fastball.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Kellis taking a long time, and now eventually touches his cap, steps off, and the Haverford bench also liking that. And again, just kind of part of messing up Kellis' rhythm. Haverford has done a really good job with here in this bottom of the fifth. Again, first inning for Kellis is he's taken over for Austin Havertine, who went 4 innings, allowed 2 runs. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Runner at second is McCormick. Sturman at the plate, righty-righty matchup. Kellis comes set as 2-1, swung on and missed this one in the dirt. And Sturman looking for a fastball there, didn't get it, and it's now 2-2. It looked like it wasn't a 2-1 count, must have been a 1-2 count, as that was a strikeout there of Sturman. So now Rocco Keller is going to be the batter. I thought it was a 2-1, Brendan. It looked like as now the leaves starting to fall. Anyway, 1 out, first out. It's a strikeout there from Kellis. This one looks to be a strike. It's 0-1.
We need the sun to come back ASAP.
As Rocco Keller is now the batter for Haverford. Kellis gets his first out. And now, Brendan, now that he's got 1 out of the way, you would think that Kellis, hopefully, at least if you're a Radnor fan, going to settle back in here.
Yeah, take a deep breath.
No balls and 1 strike to count to Rocco Keller. Kellis Gives a look back to McCormick at second here in the bottom of the fifth. Comes set. The 0-1. It's a little bit low. It's 1-1. Yeah, with the sun going out here and going in, I should say, not coming out. It's gotten really cold, Brenda.
It's all mental.
Absolutely, yeah. Just think it's 80 degrees.
I got
Why not?
my Delco Baseball Now puffer jacket
Very
available
nice.
for all teams on the Delco Baseball Now website.
Runner at second. Kellis comes home. This one's inside. Almost hit Keller.
I think I got cut off a little.
Kellis with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Penn recruit. Runner at second is McCormick. Had that RBI double earlier in this inning. It's a 3-1 lead for Haverford. If you're just joining us, David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now. Again, Rocco Keller at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Kellis trying to strand the runner at second. This one popped up again foul. And Keller getting some good hacks here against Kellis here in this fifth inning.
They're getting their money's worth. They're going up there ready to hunt.
I'm sure that's philosophy, too, if you're Coach Miller, is, as you said earlier, Brendan, don't let you get to the off-speed stuff. Hunt the fastball, and especially with some of the command issues that Kellis has had in this game just in the first few batters, that fastball seems to be the only pitch that he's getting over, and McCormick getting that double, and we'll see what Keller does here.
Call time.
And now McCormick going to head back to second. Time is called, as Brendan said. Kellis with a strikeout here in the fifth. Again, taking over for Havertine. Went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs. The 3-1 lead for Haverford here in the bottom of the fifth. There's a lot going on here at this complex, Brendan. The lacrosse team was warming up earlier. Kellis comes home. This one's in the dirt. It's going to get away from the catcher. Heading down to third and pulling in safely is McCormick. So now it's a one-out opportunity with a runner on third for Keller.
You know what I see when I look at these Radnor uniforms? I don't think do any MLB teams wear maroon.
That's a really good question. I mean, I know the Phillies got rid of the maroon jerseys. They wore it that one day. Remember Andrew McCutcheon
I was there.
had that photo. That was not a good performance though for the Phillies.
Yeah. They have, we have the maroon and the powder blue. Nobody's like, I feel like there should be a team with the maroon primary. So 30 teams. How many red and blue teams do we need?
And I feel like the maroon was much more used, of course, back in the day, right? In the 80s, 70s, Phillies use it, of course. Some other teams, I feel like it was more used. This one fouled back again from Keller, and a great battle here between Keller and Kellis. Try saying that 10 times fast. Runner on third is McCormick. One out. Keller at the plate. Ben Ishmael, the left fielder, is on deck for Haverford. Again, 3-1 lead for the Fords here on this sunny but cold day here at Haverford High School on this game that was postponed from yesterday due to rain and inclement weather. Yesterday, I mean, it was cold, but the rain was just all day nonstop. And I was surprised that when you would text me, Brendan, the game was canceled, that it wasn't canceled a little sooner because of the weather. It was not good at all. But as you said earlier, the field is in good condition considering the weather that we had.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Kellis comes set. The pitch home is, I believe, called strike 3. It was hard to see the reaction because Radnor wasn't all that fired up after that. But appears to be a strikeout, 2 outs, and that will bring up Ben Ishmael, the left fielder. And Kellis coming back with back-to-back strikeouts after the RBI double from McCormick, who's still over there at third.
It's a big momentum at bat here because if Ishmael gets this hit to make it 4-1 against Boyle, you're in a tough spot. But if Kellis gets out of this, you're only down 2, bloop and a blast. You started to see Boyle a little better last inning. We'll see how they respond.
Yeah, Ishmael batted in the last inning in the fourth as Haverford almost batted around and grounded out to third. And now Ishmael bats here in the fifth. First pitch here is a ball. It's 1-0. Again, runner over there at third is McCormick. This inning started off with an Albanian hit by pitch. He got over to second on a balk. Then McCormick with a double over the head of McWilliams extended Haverford's lead 3-1. Pitch home is inside again, almost hit Ishmael, and I believe it's 2-0.
I think Brian Miller giving him a hard time trying to wear that pitch. I don't know if I'm taking a hit by pitch in this weather right now.
Especially not with Kellis on the mound now. 2 balls and no strikes to count, and now the pitcher and the hitter is in the shadows. The 2-0 appears to be a strike, 2-1. Will Elias is the scheduled on-deck hitter for Haverford here in the bottom of the fifth. Again, 3-1 lead for Haverford. That runner at third really important as the Fords look to extend their lead. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now. The 2-1 pitch home is fouled back. It's 2-2. And Kellis is now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning again. And I think that's been kind of the theme of today. I mean, yes, Radnor is down by 2 runs. It's 3-1 right now. But, I mean, it could have been much worse for Radnor if Haverford was able to get some of these runners in.
Yeah, just, give your offense the opportunity to fight back late. That's
And
all you can do.
as we talked about, Radnor's had some big innings, but Haverford, their pitching has done an excellent job in most of their contests this season. And there's a reason why both of these teams are undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't think this game was going to be 10-9, right, when it was all said and done, especially in this weather.
It's never going to be a blowout either.
Kellis comes set, looks over to third. The pitch home is inside. It gets away from the catcher, and now looks like Coach Miller heading down, arguing something perhaps.
I'm not exactly sure what he's arguing.
He pointed out to the outfield.
Is he looking for another balk call?
I don't know because the second base umpire
We got
has not
the
moved.
We got the ump running out to talk.
Yeah, Coach Miller is definitely not happy as he is walking back our way now. Right now there's a runner at third. I believe it's going to be a full count coming up here if it does stand the way that everything appears to be to Ishmael.
Ben, any suggestions for what they're talking about here?
No, unless they thought it hit him.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't look like anything's going to come from it.
I mean, it was inside. I thought that, the way Coach Miller was really fired up there, I thought it would have been more than a hit by pitch. But we'll see. Very well could have been.
My guess is he thought it was another balk because then you're getting that run to score.
I believe it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Ishmael at the plate. The righty Kellis comes set with a runner in third, and now time is called again. And I mean, Haverford has done an excellent job of doing everything they can to make Kellis get out of that rhythm. Right? We talked about the importance of that, especially on a cold day like this when Jimmy Boyle was on the mound there in the top half of the fifth. But Haverford has done a really good job, and they have been the ladder bench here in this game. They are the home team, which has played a role. The 3-2 pitch home is hit on the ground over to second base. Miltenberger is up with it. His throw is in time to retire Ishmael. And after the 2 strikeouts, we'll get the 4-3 putout. And we have now played 5 full innings here at Haverford High School. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 man left. It's a 3-1 lead for the Fords. Head to the top of the 6th. We'll see if Radnor has a comeback in them after this.
No, you better be.
I think Havertown's an underrated town that has great Delco accents. I feel like when people talk about Delco accents, it's Ridley, it's Interboro, it's Marple, like Springfield. I don't think Havertown gets enough love.
About to get things started here in the top of the 6th inning, and Jimmy Boyle back out there here on the top of the 6th, gave up that run in the 5th, but I mean, we'll see if he can get a shutdown inning here, and I think that's the key thing here for Haverford after they score that run, push the lead back to 2.
Yeah, you got the momentum back on your side. Radnor had it after they scored last inning. They couldn't get that shutdown inning. If you can get that shutdown inning, put them down to their last 3 outs, then you're in a good spot to take this one home. And, I don't know how it works in terms of if these two teams finish with the same record at the end of the year. Is it co-champions or is it head-to-head tiebreaker? I'm not sure on that. I would think it would be head-to-head, but you never know.
9-1-2 due up here for Radnor, Selbach, Monahan, and Krasowski. I want to talk a little bit about the food. The field layout. We talk about pizza so much and food here on the broadcast, so it's just on the brain. But mesh fencing all around. I walked around the outfield from the parking lot in right field all the way to left, which there's not a whole lot of space here. Got the bullpens. Look, there's some houses over here, basketball court. But center field was really deep. I mean, that was out there. I mean, it was hard to see the batter.
I grew up. I played Nether Providence Legion. We used to play Haverford all the time. There was no fence here at all, so I was too slow to get that home run in.
Well, now there's fences, but it is deep. And showing bunt here is Selbach, and he'll pull it back.
9-hitter trying to get on base in any way.
I believe it was a ball. It's 1-0. Radnor's bench was pretty fired up. Again, as I was listening when I was driving into you guys, I mean, you really do have to go off of the bench reaction from this location because it is tough to see, especially with this sun, but it makes you feel a little warmer when the sun's out. Very good. Yeah, very, very good. Boyle, the right-hander, comes set. Gets to go back to work here in the windup. His 1-0 pitch to Selbach is in there for a strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. I said it earlier, but I really do like the way that Boyle just kind of gets it and goes. I mean, it's not as traditional anymore, but I mean, he gets it and fires.
He's as cold as we are, I guess. He's trying to get in and out.
This one bounces up to the plate. I believe it's 2-1 to Selbach. Monahan on deck for Radnor, back to the top of the order after Selbach. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 3-1 lead for Haverford here in the top of the 6th. This one is a little bit out. It's 3-1. Close pitch there. Brendan, you signaled the strike. I thought that was a strike, too.
I thought it was. Then I heard the Radnor dugout reaction. That's how I knew.
3 balls and 1 strike to count. Selbach trying to get on base. The 3-1 is outside, ball 4. And after some questionable calls there on the outside part of the plate, while the leadoff walk here to Selbach and Teddy Monahan coming up. Don't count Radnor out just yet.
I think this is their inning here. You're at the top of the order now. You got your runner on first. I would be surprised if there's a bunt call here. I feel like that would be kind of playing a little too safe. Try to steal one run. Let your guys try and see him this third time through the order.
Well, I've said it multiple times, but really talked to Coach Jordan. He stressed, obviously, the need for his offense to be more consistent, but they've had a lot of big innings. They went down to Florida, played a couple games down there, and, he said, we didn't hit all that well down there. Our pitching held us in games, and then they had that one big inning that was all they needed, and could very well be the same thing here today against Haverford, but the weather, obviously, different than it is in Florida, Brendan.
It would be nice to be down there.
First pitch to Monahan is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Monahan grounded out to third in his last at-bat in the fourth. Here in the top of the sixth inning here at Haverford High School, 3-1 lead for the Fords. David Shapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here on Delco Baseball Now. Runner over there at first is Selbach. No balls in one strike to count. Selbach starts, then stops. This one's low. It's 1-1. Boyle working here in the sixth. Has 11 strikeouts. Was able to pick up 3 last inning. No one out. Here in the top of the sixth, leadoff walk to Selbach. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Monahan. Boyle, the right-hander, comes set, and the 1-1 is popped up foul off the cage, and it's now 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Monahan, the leadoff hitter for Radnor at the plate. Radnor down by 2 here in the top of the sixth. Might not get many other good chances like this. Leadoff runner on first. Selbach over there. Boyle comes set now. Steps off. Time is called. Joe Krasowski is on deck for Radnor. Both of these teams undefeated. Well, we can guarantee one thing, Brendan. One of these teams won't be undefeated at the end of this.
Yep, no ties in the Central League. This game got too dark. They'd reschedule it.
The 1-2 going from first is Selbach. The throw down is in time. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. What a throw there from Sternin.
Sam Sturman, the backup catcher here with Owen Fleischauer hurt. That's a good way to get some more time.
Absolutely. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, close play, but great tag over there at second base. I believe Miltenberger was over there on the cover.
No,
I'm sorry, not Miltenberger, I apologize. Elias over there on the cover, and there's 2 outs. This is a swing and a miss. So Krasowski was the scheduled hitter.
I believe it is him.
3-1 lead for Haverford. Here in the top of the sixth inning, 2 outs. That leadoff base runner erased just like that, and this is a big cut. It's 0-2. Now, if you're Jimmy Boyle, you have to be really thanking for that steal and thanking your catcher for a great throw.
Huge momentum shift again. Radnor thought they had an opportunity, runner on, nobody out, only down 2, and all of a sudden you got to start fresh with 2 outs.
Krasowski steps out, calls time. Righty-lefty matchup here. 3-1 lead for Haverford. The pitch home, the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Make it 12 strikeouts. Have yourself a day, Jimmy Boyle. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left other than strike him out, throw him out, double play. And we'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Haverford with all the momentum, Brendan. It's a 3-1 lead for the Fords.
Yeah, we're 3 outs away from finding out what type of toppings Jimmy Boyle likes on his pizza. I'll tell you what.
Well, I know my questions already, Brendan. That's really,
of course. Hey,
it's really good.
Use him for the pregame, so it's it's understandable. But I'll tell you what, if he gets one more strikeout, I believe that's a career high for him.
Oh, what a job there from Jimmy Boyle, and especially after that leadoff walk. I mean, just continuing to battle back, and obviously, we talked about the weather conditions having a big, effect on hitting, but also on pitching too. But Jimmy Boyle hasn't showed it here today, at least.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like a lot of the times, you hear about it being a negative for the hitters, but I'll tell you what, like for these pitchers, it can be hard to get loose before the game. When everything can be tight. It helps when you're younger and your body isn't aching like the rest of us. But it can be really hard for that shoulder to kind of get loose in this weather. And you can see these guys doing a lot of their bands and stuff to start to, to warm those muscles up. But it looks like it hasn't affected him.
Well, Kellis going to start things here in the bottom of the sixth inning. It'll be 9-1 and 2 up for Haverford. Scheduled hitters Will Elias, Ryan Cassidy, and Jimmy Boyle. It's a 3-1 lead for Haverford.
Ben, when you get a sec after doing the tweets, can you check how many pitches Boyle's used? Because I'm using my actual phone for Game Changer. Shout out my Uncle Eddie for giving me an extra phone here that we also use for streaming, but we're gonna have to figure this portable charger situation out here.
Yeah, I don't know. The chart, is it plugged in? Is it all the, wait,
Yeah,
maybe
so-
that's the problem. Is it all the way in?
It should be all the way in.
I was saying Havertine.
I hope.
Exactly. No, but you texted me a while ago. You texted me.
Should be in. I'll mess around with it.
Well, Kellis, the right-hander, going to try to hold the deficit for Radnor to 2. Will Elias is now up to the plate. He popped up to the first baseman, Shaholski, in his last at-bat in the 4th. Now bats to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 lead for Haverford here on, again, this cold Tuesday. Can't stress that enough. Kellis comes set. His first pitch home is inside. It's 1-0.
I haven't checked the forecast yet for next week, but
Hopefully better.
hopefully better. I'll take 50s.
Yeah, I feel like, especially this time of year, you get kind of 1 week cold, 1 week hot, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. One day can be hot, and the next day is cold. Saw that this past week. 1-0 pitch from Kellis. Check swing. Called a strike on the outside part of the plate, and it's now 1-1. Top of the lineup due after Elias. Ryan Cassidy, Jimmy Boyle, the 2 scheduled hitters.
Looks like Jimmy Boyle has 18 pitches to work with in the 7th. Of course, you can finish the at-bat.
The 1-1 looked to be a little outside, but also heard the umpire there. So it's either 1-2 or 2-1.
Here, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I believe it is 1-2. Elias trying to extend the lead for the Fords. They lead a 3-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Kellis comes home after 2 strikeouts in that last inning. The 1-2 is low. It's 2-2.
87. So he's got 13 pitches to work with. You can finish an at-bat. So if he gets 2 outs before that, it looks like, see number 16. I think Cam McCormick looks like he's warming up. Potentially come in if needed.
Here's the 2-2. This one outside, and it's now 3-2. Full count here to Will Elias, the 9-hole hitter for Haverford. Again, Ryan Cassidy is on deck. Daniel Kellis on the mound for Radnor. 3-1 lead for Haverford here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. David Chavansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. Kellis comes set. His full count pitch home is a ball 4, and heading down to first is Elias.
That's a great at-bat from Will Elias, from the 9-hitter to work a 6-pitch walk like that. To be able to get on base for the top of the order is huge.
Well, we've seen the philosophy, the strategy for, Haverford has been pretty simple. I mean, make Kellis throw some pitches, and, I think for a lot of teams, maybe try to swing a little bit early in counts, get away from the off speed, but they've, realized that Kellis's command is not as good as it normally is, or as good as it was in some earlier games this season, and they're taking advantage of it. Here's Cassidy at the plate, and we'll get a throw back to first. Shaholski over there at first for Radnor. Sliding in safely there was Elias. And now it does appear that we're going to get Haverford player to come down and warm up.
Also got someone chucking in the Radnor side of things. Can't tell the number here.
It's definitely a single digit of
Yeah.
some sort. Possibly 6 or 8. One of the two.
I don't think that's going to work.
Kellis comes set. And this one's in there for a strike. Going 1 to Ryan Cassidy, the leadoff hitter for Haverford. Singled in his last at bat in the 4th. And Brendan, he really kind of got the line moving, which allowed for Jimmy Boyle to come up, get a single. That was back there in the 4th when Haverford was able to get on the board. And here's a check back, almost a bad throw there by Kellis. Shaholski saved him big time there, especially with that hill over there at first base. If that hit that, you don't know where that could have bounced to.
Yeah, and Ryan Cassidy, along with Jimmy Boyle, heading to Thomas Jefferson to play their college baseball. Will Hoffman, who was on the squad last year, already there. So this Haverford to Jefferson pipeline seems to be real.
Kellis comes set, the right-hander delivers. This one appears to be strike, Brendan?
I think so.
The sun you love because the temperature helps, but you also like when the sun goes down because you can see things a little better, which is always great.
My great DBN hat on right now. Try and block it out.
Cassidy, left-handed batter at the plate, runner at first. Kellis fires home. This one is outside. Did he get a piece of it off the end of the bat? Very
It
close.
sounded like it. I guess that was just his glove. I thought he tipped it. Looked like they're appealing. I don't think he went. If he didn't, I thought I heard a tip, but it must have just been his glove.
Yeah, especially with the wind, it is hard to tell much with these sounds sometimes.
We have Cam McCormick warm up in the bullpen. It looks like Lucas Rothstein getting some plyos in just in case of emergency. But I'd imagine Boyle will start this inning and go from there.
Kellis comes set. This one is low. And I believe it's a full count now. As Elias over there at first base. Cassidy at the plate. Jimmy Boyle is on deck. Nobody out here in the Bottom of the 6th inning. Kellis's pitch home is hit in the air well. Out to left center field. McWilliams is back. This one's going to split the gap. He's all the way to the fence. Rounding second, heading to third is Elias. He's getting the wave home. It's going to be an RBI triple for Ryan Cassidy. And it's a 4-1 lead for Haverford as Elias will score. And the forwards are really playing great baseball right now.
There's a reason we put these guys at number 1 in our rankings. I think that they're the most complete team in Delco. If they win this one, they'll head to 9-0 on the year. And it's hard to find their flaw. They hit well, they field well, they pitch well, they're well coached. It's a lot to like about the Fours, and it looks like they all love playing for their coach Brian Miller too.
Yeah, I mean, and just the energy over there. I mean, it is hard to get teams really kind of fired up for these cold games. When you're playing a top team like Radnor, you have some great pitching on the mound for both teams. I mean, the bench has been going all day, and their offense is really fed off of it. So it's a 4-1 lead. Haverford looking for more. There's Jimmy Boyle. He swings to the first pitch here in the dirt. It's 0-1. And now if you're Kellis, Brendan, what's kind of the thought of attack here? You got to do everything you can to keep this runner at third.
Yeah. How many outs we got here?
Nobody out.
Nobody out. Before I answer that, I'll tell you this, though, that the Haverford offense doing a great job hitting where the ball's pitched.
The 0-1 is swung on and foul-tipped. It's now 0-2, so Kellis looking for a strikeout here. Boyle singled in his last at-bat as well back in the 4th. Shane Durkin is on deck for Haverford. It's a 4-1 lead for the Fords here on Delco Baseball now. David Chemansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you. Again, glad you could join us here on this Tuesday afternoon. Take some time out of your day. Get ready for the Phils tonight, taking on the Braves in Atlanta after the off day yesterday. Kellis comes home. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt. It's 1-2.
Zach Wheeler day.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a stat too. I think I forget what was the Twitter page put it out. Wheeler, though, since he's been signed by the Phils, an ERA of just above 2 against the Braves.
Interesting.
And and when you think about the 1-2 is outside, it's 2-2. When you think about that one was outside. When you think about before the Phillies had signed Wheeler, the biggest threat, and still is one of the biggest threats, is the Braves, obviously, with the talent they have despite the slow start. But it was always kind of finding ways to shut down the Braves lineup. And you get a guy like Wheeler, I mean, he's done everything to stop that. As this one's outside, it's 3-2. So Wheeler has been excellent, obviously, and you don't need me to tell you that.
Yep.
Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves
I got them both
tonight.
in fantasy, so let's get a little 1-0 win.
For the Phils, that'd be nice.
I got Stott too. So solo Stott homer.
Don't know if he's going to start with the lefty on the mound.
Yeah,
probably going to see Sosa at some point in time, who would be towards the top of the league in batting average if he had enough at bats. The 3-2 is sit on the ground over to third. Charging in was Havertine, who was third baseman earlier in the game, and I believe he still is. He's going to complete the throw. Yep. Blake Havertine to first in time to retire Boyle. So score the putout 5-3. Staying at third is Cassidy. Shane Durkin now coming up to the plate for Haverford. Again, the Fords leading 4-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
It's a good job by Havertine to keep an eye on Cassidy, make sure that he wasn't going to head home after that throw. Kind of gave him a little look, kept him around.
Who's been your surprise team so far here in MLB? I was going to say. But sure, you give me both.
Honestly, I would say in MLB so far, I think the Giants have done really well for themselves.
I was going to say that, yep.
Especially in a loaded division. And Delco, Cardinal, O'Hara, without a doubt. Them and Lower Marion have both been outstanding. O'Hara's 4-0 in the Catholic League. They went 5-7 last year. So 1 win away from matching that total.
Well, here is Shane Durkin at the plate. Runner third, infield in. This run outside, and it's 1-0.
I'll tell you what, neither of these teams being good was a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, Haverford, Radnor, off to great starts this season, both undefeated. Unfortunately, one team is going to go home with a loss here today. Radnor down 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 count with 1 out. The pitch home in their first strike. It's 1-1. Appears to be on the outside corner. Again, Durkin at the plate. Struck out in the 4th in his last at bat. Runner at third is Cassidy. He had the RBI triple to extend the lead 4-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Kellis swung on and missed. It's 1-2. And I think in this inning, Brendan, you've really seen the off-speed of Kellis get to work. And I think it's mainly been because Haverford's had a great approach against his fastball.
Yeah, I think he kind of realized he had to switch up like when he threw what pitch because they were starting to hunt the fastballs early. He's gotten them to chase on some of the off-speed because they're not afraid to look dumb on the off-speed.
The 1-2 pitch from Kellis is way outside into the right-handed batter's box, and it's now 2-2.
As Ben told us in that first game against Strathaven, he's got some pitches to break more than you'll see at the high school level very often, and these guys have no interest in seeing it.
1 out here in the 6th. Runner third. The 2-2 home is popped up, headed our way. Ben, you got this one, I think. Very close. Head to the basketball court right next to Ben. He can pick it up. And it's going to remain 2-2. Ben was a little disappointed. You had some time to get into place for that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And now we got a souvenir. Durkin at the plate. The pitcher from Kellis swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the mitt. And that will be the second out here this inning. And it's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Kellis. And here is Alvanian coming up for the Fords. And Alvanian, speaking of getting rally started, he did so in the 5th with a hit by pitch. Advanced to second on a balk. And that started the chain of bad things there against Kellis. Good things if you're a Haverford fan. Runner at 3rd. Pitch here is in the dirt. It's 1-0.
I think one thing that
Cassidy thought about it, didn't go.
One thing Haverford has going for them is they're not afraid. They're not afraid of it. They don't care about where you're committed. They don't care how hard you throw. These guys are just going out and they're going to battle. I think some teams, you'll see some guys kind of get intimidated when they see the velo or they see, like this guy's committed there, whatever. These guys, they're tough.
1 ball and no strikes to count. 2 outs. Sylvanian at the plate. Runner at 3rd is Cassidy. It's a 4-1 lead. Kellis delivers home. This one's low. It's 2-0. And, Coach Miller also talked about it. Many people, Brendan, we've talked about it as well. This is Haverford's best team in a long time. And they have played really well on both sides of the ball, pitching and hitting. And, we'll get back to that in a second. 2-0 is in their first strike, looked in the outside part of the plate, 2-1 possibly.
I'll tell you what, as long as I've been around Delco baseball, this is the first time I can ever remember Haverford High School being better than the Haverford School. It always feels like that, when you think of the Haverford Fords, that's who you're thinking of. 2
balls and 1 strike to count. Kellis comes home, swing and a miss. Big swing there from Albanian, and it's 2-2. But, their pitching was really good in the beginning of the season, Brendan, and then their offense has really picked up over the past few games. Like I said, heading into this one, averaged 11 runs in their last 4 games. Now, they did have a big 19-run performance, which kind of skewed those numbers a little bit, but their offense has been really good. The 2-2 home is low, and it's now 3-2, I believe. Runner 3rd is Cassidy. Alvanian at the plate with 2 outs. Strikeout by Durkin. He was the last out. McCormick is on deck if it gets to him. Runner at 3rd. The 3-2 pitch home from Kellis. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And that will complete the 6th inning as back-to-back strikeouts from Kellis, and he'll allow the 1 run there to extend Haverford's lead to 4-1. We'll see if Jimmy Boyle can have the complete game 1-run pitching performance here when we come back here on Delco Baseball Now. Right into the 7th. Due up, it's the meat of the order for Radnor. 3, 4, and 5, Shaholski, Hartman, and Fine. We'll be back after this.
Go down there now. Why?
Okay. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Headed to the top of the 7th inning here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. David Chapansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. And this cold one, I'm going to stand for a little bit. I'm going to go over here with Ben, stand up for a little bit, kind of get in the sun if I can. And Jimmy Boyle is the main story here on, well, we're at Haverford High School, but here on Delco Baseball Now's YouTube channel. Jimmy Boyle looking for the complete game here for Haverford. It's a 4-1 lead for the Fords. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Radnor. And Jimmy Boyle really has answered all the questions today and has answered them emphatically.
I'll tell you what, when I watch this kid, I don't see a Division II pitcher. I see a Division I pitcher. And I think some teams are worried, maybe about, like, he's not the tallest guy out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if the transfer portal's good to him.
First pitch to Shaholski is inside. It's 1-0. Boyle ran into a little bit of trouble there in the 5th inning, and also to start the 6th, but was helped out by his catcher with a strike him out, throw him out, double play. The 1-out was fouled back. It's 1-1. Shaholski struck out in his last at bat back in the 4th, but one thing we've talked about, and obviously Haverford has 4 runs, but a lot of Radnor's damage has been they only had the 1 run, but even a lot of their innings have been very short innings where Boyle has not had to throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, we started 12 up, 12 down.
The 1-1 pitch home, swing and a miss from Shaholski, and it's 1-2. This is really the biggest power threat, too, in the lineup for Radnor with Shaholski at the plate. Has the power to split the gaps, of course, and maybe even put one out here. Talked about how deep center field is. Left field, not as deep.
Yeah, I think you can put one out down the line. You got to really get into one to get one into center.
1-2 the count. Boyle through the windup, the 1-2. Check swing off the end of the bat. It's on the ground over to first. Up with it and tagging the bag is McCormack, and that's the first out here in the 7th.
Now, if you're Boyle, you have about, let's say, 8 or 9 pitches to work with. You can finish an at bat, but you can't start one after that 100 pitch count limit. And man, I'd really like to see him get the chance to finish this one.
Well, we saw McCormack warming up earlier, and we'll see if he would come into the game. But right now, for Jimmy Boyle and Haverford, you want to finish this.
Yeah, you've earned the right. Obviously, the pitch count is the pitch count. It's not really a coach's decision, but
Sure. Hartman takes a look at the first pitch outside. It's 1-0. Evan Hartman struck out in his last at bat in the 5th. There's a ball. It's 2-0. 12 strikeouts for Jimmy Boyle so far through 6 1/3, working here in the top of the 7th. Facing Evan Hartman, 4-1 lead for Haverford. This one fouled back, and I believe it's now 1-2, Brendan?
that's what I got.
2-1?
2-1.
2-1, 1-2.
You know that was a foul ball.
Yes, that was definitely a strike. Hartman up the plate, left-handed batter for Radnor. Jimmy Boyle comes set, delivers home, and this one swung on and missed. It was a 1-2. We got our answer. It's 2-2. Zach Fine on deck. He scored the only run of the day for Radnor. David Chvansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here in the 7th. Stay tuned to our post-game social media content. Delco Baseball Now on social media. Jimmy Boyle will step off, twirl the baseball in his glove, slowly step back onto the mound. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And now steps off again. Time is called. David Chvansky, Brendan Ricciardi with you here. And as you really get to see the
boys,
as you
we
get to
got
see,
a great double booth over here.
yeah, I know. So it feels like we're calling professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got the press box here. The 2-2 swing and a miss. 13 strikeouts for Jimmy Boyle, and there's 2 outs here in the 7th.
More importantly, he got that done enough times that he gets to try and finish this thing off. We got 14. I'm hearing 14 over here. We got 14.
14 strikeouts for Jimmy Boyle. Close out Radnor.
I missed one somehow. So we're up to 14 for Jimmy Boyle. Can he get 15? Zach Fine
It's really a shame they
up
can't
to the
play in
plate.
playoffs.
This one's a
Yeah.
ball. 1-0.
We'd love to see these two teams play again. Unfortunately, we will not.
It's a good battle. 4-1 lead for Haverford. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Can find the last hope for Radnor. Down 4-1. Again, both of these teams undefeated. Jimmy Boyle 1 out away from handing Radnor its first loss. There's a strike, and it's 1-2. And Radnor and Zach Fine down to their final strike here on this Tuesday afternoon. David Chvansky, Brendan Ricciardi, Jimmy Boyle from the lineup, 14 strikeouts. Can he get 15? Boyle, the 1-2 pitch to Fine, swung on and missed. It's 15 strikeouts, and it's a complete game for Jimmy Boyle. Throws his glove in celebration, and Haverford has defeated Radnor. It's a 4-1 win and victory for the Fords.
I mean, the best performance of his career, at least at the high school level. 15 strikeouts, just a 1 earned run. When you talk about a big game pitcher, I'm not sure there are many other pitchers in Delco I'd rather have on the mound than this guy.
And you could hear the bench erupting in some Jimmy Boyle chants. I mean, what a performance there from Boyle. 15 strikeouts at the end of the day for Boyle. And what a way to end your day strong. Like, boy, we talked about it in the beginning of this game. I mean, he was 12 up, 12 down, ran into a little bit of trouble after that, but only gave up that 1 run.
Yep. All right, well, everybody, appreciate you taking the time to tune in. We got the Haverford boys starting to come in here to left field. They're going to be rightfully fired up as the road to the Central League Championship runs through them now.
Yeah, Brendan, thanks to you. Thanks to all of our listeners. As always, a great time here on the Delco Baseball Now game of the week, and Haverford really fired up, and rightfully so.
Deserve it.
Well, thank everybody for tuning in to this game of the week. Again, final score, Haverford 4, Radnor 1. That will do it. Brendan, we don't know our next game of the week quite yet, right? Still working on it. We'll announce that on our social media. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Cold Tuesday, so probably was better to maybe watch it at home, per se. Well, it was really warm. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned on our social media for post-game content. For Brendan Ricciardi, I'm David Chvansky. Have a great rest of your day, Delaware County, and we'll see you in the next one. Again, final score, Haverford defeating Radnor 4-1.